A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Damn. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the show that's cooler and flyer too. A1 Forever Sports. I am Chris Tip Moore, back with another segment, here to talk about Atlanta Falcons training camp. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know I told you I'll be back with a little info, my analysis myself of it, and what's going on just for the first couple of days. I'm going to get into that, but before I get into that, just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and who watches the videos. I really appreciate it. I swear to God. And, I got every last one of y'all right here. Promise you that. But let's get into some Falcons training camp news right now. The Atlanta Falcons training camp started this week and have a massive amount of positional battles this year's training camp. If you look around the league, the Atlanta Falcons are one of the biggest question marks around the league, period. From quarterback, down to locker room security. No, but seriously, I'm not saying that's something to glorify. I'm just telling you like it is. It's a lot of questions. The Falcons have been entirely written off this year. In fact, NFL.com ranks the Dirty Birds as the least likely to end their playoff drought. We know about USA Today with the 2-15 prediction, and CBS Sports ranks the Falcons roster as the worst roster in the NFL. Now, what the hell do they know? Anything can happen, right? Anything's possible. Now, a 2-15 record would be hard to stomach, but it'll get you the first round draft pick, right? Well, the thing about it is, I'm not into tanking, so kind of always want the best. And the boys, they actually feel the same. They actually feel like they can make some noise, shock the world, and make it to the playoffs. And that's a great attitude to have, just because, you got people who's writing you off. You got to block out that negativity because there's so much of it going on, and you got to push forward, You got to come in with a little chip on your shoulder because everybody in the world has already doubted you. So that's already should be the motivation that you need. Realistically, it will be a tough road for the Falcons. They will have to start fast and keep their foot on the gas, something that we've been talking about for years. Last season, they were in the bottom half of the league in many categories. And with that being said, I would like to get into key position battles and players to watch for. After franchise leader Matt Ryan was traded to the Colts, the Falcons picked up quarterback Marcus Mariota and drafted quarterback Desmond Ridder. The position battle at quarterback is still one of the most important ones because you must put the best field general out there to give you the best chance of winning. Only thing, the Falcons already came out and named Marcus Mariota the starter. And say they have a plan for Desmond Ridder. I believe Mariota has the advantage because he's played in this type of offense in Tennessee, has a relationship with Coach Smith, and has a chance to revive his career in Atlanta as a seasoned vet. In the same breath, Mariota has a career 62% completion, 77 touchdowns, and also 45 interceptions. Factor in some injuries, and Mariota has had a tough stretch so far in his career. Still, Mariota is roommates with number 1 draft pick, or should I say, over number 8 overall draft pick, Drake London, building a real chemistry on and off the field. And even lie, man, from the footage and everything that I've seen, Mariota's feet and his arm looking fresh. Can't even deny him on that. Now, what will Ridder bring to training camp? Well, the better Ridder plays, the more it will push Mariota out of his way, regardless of him being a third rounder, and despite what the staff tells us. There are only about 9 or 10 third-round quarterbacks who have had successive stability in the NFL. The likes of Nick Foles, Chris Chandler, Russell Wilson, with Wilson and Foles winning Super Bowls. So yes, Ridder is up against it, but it's not insurmountable circumstances, you dig? I expect Mariota to have enough experience to keep the starting role to week 1, unless he looks like Montana or Brady out there in training camp. However, if the Falcons, Mariota, or both are struggling, like if the Falcons are like 2-6 with mediocre quarterback play, I expect Mariota to be yanked, not pulled, not brought over to the sideline, yanked. And we will see the rookie has in store. Plus, on top of that, you'll be past that tough stretch that the Falcons have in the starting of the season too. So you don't have to just put him up against some of the toughest teams in the league, talking about quarterback Desmond Ridder. With the previous coach and player relationship between Coach Smith and Marcus Mariota, I can see him starting for at least 8 to 9 games, and things don't go well, then possibly. But I'll stand there until I'm proven incorrect. So quarterback is still a position of interest in training camp and definitely one of the most important. Now, family, when I say trenches, I'm talking both sides of the ball. That's where it all starts. That's where the magic happens. That's how you be able to move the ball or go get the ball. For starters, the offensive line we know will have an important battle, because we know we have 3 opening spots that are up for grabs. And everyone except for Jake Matthews and Chris Lindstrom is up in question. Jalen Mayfield, Caleb McGarry, Matt Hennessy, Elijah Wilkinson, Jermaine Ifedi, Kobe Gesick, Drew Dahlman, and rookie Justin Schaefer are guys competing for starting positions. This week, Wilkerson had received first-team snaps at left guard over Mayfield, with Ifedi battling McGarry at right tackle. Also, Dalton with some center play over Hennessy. I would really like to see what Schaefer can do, being versatile and a former dog, of course. It's going to be a real dog fight at O-line, and Saturday's practice helped indicate, as a couple of fights happened in the trenches, causing Coach Smith to call Saturday's practice the best practice he's been a part of since being in Atlanta. The Falcons gave up 40 sacks last season, and rushing attack far as protection was completely trash, ranking last in the league. Caleb McGarry is the player who I feel has the hottest seat, as he cannot afford to lose his position battle. It wouldn't be a good look for him. But the Falcons are taking the best and the right approach as far as competition. 1-year guys, 2nd-year players, to see who will be available and the best option for opening night against New Orleans. On the defensive side, Atlanta has already made a few changes, adding former Giants safety Henry Black and signing former 49ers defensive lineman Darren Daniels. The Falcons defense sacked the quarterback 18 times and gave up over 4,100 yards. It starts up front with the returning and extended Grady Jarrett. His leadership will be key to this defensive front, as Eddie Goldman decided to retire before training camp. I'm glad he decided to do it and let the Falcons know ahead of time. And you also have a rookie, 2nd and 3rd year guys who Falcon coaches and fans hope take steps forward. 2nd rounder Arnold Albuquerque, Anthony Rush, Marlon Davison, Tyquan Graham, D'Angelo Malone, Lorenzo Carter, and more will be called upon in training camp, because it is crucial to see who can play this game. With Rush, Graham, and Davison, hopefully we'll find out if Grady Jarrett's running mate is on the team. In day 3 of training camp, the Falcons stated that Malone and Albuquerque have a long way to go, but hey, they still have plenty of time, and I believe that them two will still be able to make a mark. I expect Lorenzo Carter and Arnold Albuquerque to help lead the charge to the quarterback, with D'Angelo Malone being very serviceable or better. Yes. How great would it be for the Falcons to have a D-line to where you can hardly keep guys off of the field because of great production? Man can dream, right? Atlanta has to figure this D-line out just as swiftly as the O-line. and competition will be critical in figuring out the right pieces for growing and development of the team. Well, we shall see what's shaking very soon, Falcon faithful. Let's get into some players to watch. The whole team. Nah, just joking. But seriously, I'm going back to the quarterback position with Desmond Ridder. I want to see what progression he can still make despite knowing his uphill battle for the starting role heading into the season. Just step by step, peeling layer after layer of the third rounder. Arnold Albuquerque is another player to watch as, again, the Falcons need sacks. At least get the quarterback uncomfortable. Whether we call him AK, the doctor of sacks, or just Dr. AK, I really want to pay attention to see how he interprets the information and how fast it translates to the field. Albuquerque is to be watched, and I don't think he will disappoint as soon as he gets comfortable. Safety Richie Grant is coming into his second year with minimum time toward the end of the year. He finished with 35 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. If you watch the tape on Grant, you see that he has potential of a starting safety in the NFL if the Falcons can get consistent play out of him. He and Jalen Hawkins took reps together as a pair for this week's training camp. I'm pulling for this guy, and I'm really hoping for both of them to make a significant leap, specifically Grant. It would be nice to see if John Fitzpatrick can become more than just a blocking tight end and more of a flexible option for the offense, as the defense will be locking in on Kyle Pitts more this season. With the wide receiver room, should be nothing but guys ready to prove themselves, as it contains a first rounder, a few veterans, and a guys who just didn't have enough targets in previous offensive systems. So I'm really looking to see how big of a chip they have. Then what about Tyler Algiers? He may be more than what expected in training camp, battling with Damian Williams and Quadre Ollison. Notable mentions for players to watch, I would say Rashad Evans, linebacker, D. Alford, cornerback, and Felipe Franks, tight end and quarterback. Well, until next time, be generational. Peace and blessings to you. Chris Tip Moore, A1 Forever Sports. We out.
A1! Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam! Cooler and I'm flyer too.